The Man Who Fought Aliens with a Samurai Sword, Part 5. Beyond their dealings with constant assault from the Greys, John and Joyce Edmonds also dealt with a lot of other weird things on their ranch. In 2008, John first appeared on Coast to Coast AM to tell his story. One afternoon, shortly after the radio broadcast, a black SUV pulled up to the ranch and two Men in Black characters, wearing fedoras, exited the vehicle. He said that the two of them walked through the gate like nothing was there. They came right up to him, and one of them got about a foot away from his face and told him to stop talking about the ranch, and John is like, "Excuse me?" This MIB then robotically repeated the same exact sentence, and then they turned around, walked back to the gate, phased through it again, got in their vehicle, and drove off. Perhaps one of the stranger incidents was one evening John and Joyce were going out for Tex-Mex in Phoenix one evening. John was waiting in the living room, waiting for Joyce to finish getting ready, and then she came out in a red dress saying she's ready to go, and off they went. Now, they get to the restaurant and settle in. They're looking at the menu, ordering drinks and appetizers. Joyce then stands up and says she has to go to the restroom. And in the meantime, John decided to take his cell phone off his belt. It was on one of those old style clips, and it was getting a little bit uncomfortable against his leg. So the phone had been turned off, and in that moment, when he put it on the table, he decided to turn it on just in case there was an emergency or something. Immediately, the phone started buzzing with tons of missed calls and voicemails from his house. He checked the last voicemail, and it was Joyce, furious that he had left his house without her. So, if his wife was stuck at home, who did he come to the restaurant with? He then called home, and Joyce picked up demanding an explanation. He said there's something going on that he can't explain and he's going to be home right away. And then he saw his not wife come out of the restroom, and it came back over and sat down across the table from him. It knew that he knew. John realized that he hadn't really looked directly into the face of this being, whatever it was, even though they carried a whole conversation on the drive into the city, and it completely fooled him. He thought it was his wife. But when he looked at its face, he noticed that its eyes were completely blacked out. John recoiled and got up immediately, left the restaurant, jumped into his Jeep, drove off without paying. And this kind of doppelganger situation apparently would happen several more times over the years to both Joyce and John, and was one of the stranger things they experienced on the ranch. Now, there's still more to the story, so if you want to hear more, leave a comment for part 6.